Oh, hi. I wasn't expecting you. Of course I was. Because I always know. I always know. You want to know why there was a moon landing? Well, I'm going to do you one better. We're going to talk about all the things that we know about the moon. A great man of the interwebs, the interwebs, named Mark Dice. Brilliant guy. He went around interviewing people, asking if they knew that, and I'm probably going to get this detail wrong, but he went around asking people if they knew that ISIS, it was either ISIS or Al-Qaeda, one or the other, doesn't matter, had a base on the moon. He was asking people if they knew for a fact that they had a base on the moon. So you're going to tell me that we never went to the moon, then how does ISIS have a base on the moon? Explain that. Explain that. Okay? That's one. That's a big one. I don't think you can just wipe that away. Okay? I don't think you can. Here's another one. There was an entire species of people living on the moon called the Inhumans. Okay? Part of it owned by Marvel and Disney. The Inhumans lived on the moon. Whether or not they still do, I don't know. Probably. But if that's possible, then why isn't going to the moon possible? Explain that. I don't think you can do that in one little sentence or something. I don't think so. Okay? I mean, these are pretty seriously difficult things to just explain away. I hope you understand. Okay. So for the fact that there are people living on the moon, or in, or both, I mean, why is it so hard to understand that we could go there to visit our friends? Obviously somebody's been there. Are you saying they came from somewhere else? They didn't come from Earth? Well, there's nothing special about the moon. Okay? We all know that, obviously. It's white, reflective powder, and mountains. Mountains and craters. More... Yeah. I mean, why mountains, though? How does a mountain form without water? You kind of got me there, guys. I have no idea. How did the terrain of the moon even... I mean, I understand the crater thing, but if there's mountains on the moon, like that's confusing. I don't get that at all. Gosh. I'm gonna have to think about that. So I've been reading a lot of articles about why we did go to the moon and why we didn't go to the moon. And what I think is so beautiful, if you've seen any of my previous videos, is how people completely disagree on this. And one of the best ways, I still plan on doing my instructional video on the best possible way to disagree with somebody and how to win an argument. I still plan on doing that instructional video, so I don't spoil too much. However, I've given some hints. And one of the hints, obviously, is indicated by people that argue for or against, and they're both right, They're both right, probably. In some way, they're probably both right. But here's the best possible way to win that argument is just to name call the other side. Guys, obviously, the best way to convince somebody that you're right is to call them names. You know that, right? People have been doing that for thousands of years. Thousands. Always thousands. Tens of thousands, possibly. But definitely thousands. So the fact that people have been calling each other names when they think the other person is wrong obviously proves that that's the best way to win an argument. And if it doesn't, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that because of how many people do that, just think, here, let's do it this way. Think about the last time you were wrong about something, and I bet you remember being called names, made fun of, and possibly even physically, not going to use the A word. Oh yeah, that A word, yeah. Physically assaulted in order to be corrected. And once the physical assault and the verbal assault was completed, you were like, oh, yeah, obviously I was wrong. That's how you were convinced, right? That makes sense to me. If somebody's making fun of me and threatening me with physical harm, that's all it takes to believe something, right? Because that's how people like to argue, and if that's how people like to argue, obviously it works. Otherwise, why would so many people resort to calling people names and threat of physical harm, if not actual physical harm? Why stop at threatening? That's kind of weak. Just saying, that's kind of weak. So, if so many people do it, it's gotta work, obviously. Why would they keep doing it? That's all I have to say about that. For the love of sunshine. That's amazing. Yeah. Now you get to see what a sun visor does. Exactly how that works. I bet you didn't know it blocked the sun from your eyes. You see the shadow on my eyes. Isn't that amazing? It's just amazing. Just so happens the sun is in the sweet spot above the visor and not at the horizon, the crest. That's the worst, because you can't look at the road. It's terrible. But in this case, pretty sweet spot. The sun is out of my line of sight, next to this guy right here with the warning sign. Because they'd rather you read a message than pay attention to the road. That's why they put that warning sign there. All right, moving on. How people win arguments. Okay? I won't change the name of the video. I'm gonna keep it moon landing. But let me go ahead and press on, because a lot of this has to do with how we can convince others that we are right. Here's how. First of all, this will be expanded upon. Don't worry. I'll name a specific video for argument winning. Okay. Guys, the first step to winning an argument. Let me just help you understand. The first step to winning an argument is recognizing within your own mind absolutely no way that you could be wrong. You might have heard people say something along the lines of, I could be wrong. Never, ever say, I could be wrong. Because you and I both know that if you're fixing to get into an argument, okay, then there's absolutely no reason to believe that you could be wrong. No reason at all. And it's very important that you could be wrong. That's really a zero or negative chance that you're wrong. You're so right, you're not even right enough that you're so right. Like, you're so right that right is jealous of your rightness. That's how right you are. That's the kind of mindset you have to have when you're beginning an argument. There's this word, you may or may not be familiar with it. It's a strange word, strange. It's called humility and humbleness. Obviously those are like it's almost like a different language when I say those words. But in regards to winning an argument, guys, and trying to convince a bunch of people that you know what you're talking about, keep that word out of your mindset 199 billion Googleplexes % out of your vocabulary. Yeah, all that. The best way to start, to begin, to win an argument, obviously, is to start with a mindset of arrogance and pride. Pride and arrogance never lead to anything bad, right? I mean, when somebody's prideful and arrogant, people usually look up to that kind of person, right? And in fact, they envy that person in the best possible way. And prideful and arrogant people always get believed. So some of the best steps you can take to winning an argument is by simply starting off by being prideful and arrogant. And that moves on to our next method and aspect of always winning an argument. Okay? The next best way, inclusive, okay, not exclusive, but inclusive, is character assassination. So look at the person that you're about to argue with. Let's say you're about to argue, I don't know, something in math. Well, one of the best ways to start arguing, let's say like 2 + 2 is 5. Obviously. But it doesn't even matter that 2 + 2 is 5, because the person that you're about to argue with, they don't believe that. So the best way to start that argument, besides the ways I already mentioned, is to character assassinate. Take some element of this person, their appearance, something you know about their past, whether or not that past is moments ago or years ago, okay? Take a comma that they missed in a sentence, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Anything you can find, and just relentlessly drill them and make fun of them and completely try to just destroy them based on this tiny element. I don't know if you see the world disappearing before me. I have less than a 100 foot visibility. It's kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. All right. Let's clear it up a little bit. It's okay. All right, so character assassinate, guys. Destroy them. Make fun of them. If they have a white or gray hair out of, like, oh, you have a gray hair, make fun of that. Find anything you possibly can. Oh, you wore blue instead of green today. Aha! Anything you can find, guys. Make fun of them. If you think that their eyes are too far apart or too close together, if you think that their nostrils are shaped, like, if there's any type of asymmetry, just find anything you... Embrace your inner middle school mindset. Embrace that, and just go at it. Preferably until they raise their voice. That's the preference. You want them to lose control. Okay, that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. You want them to lose control. Because once they lose control and react to what you're saying and doing, guys, you got it in the bag. Like, you've already won the argument before it even started. It's awesome. I mean, that's why so many people do that. It's because it works. Okay, it's because it works. I just passed through Narnia, I'm pretty sure. That was amazing. All right, so here are the components so far. We've got all right, so we have character assassination. Okay, that one's obvious. I explained that one. We have beginning your mindset before the argument even starts with the mindset of pride and arrogance, because we know how effective that is. And then, what was the first thing I mentioned? I don't know. Doesn't matter, because it's all recorded. It's all part of the permanent record for all time. So just rewind. You don't need my memory, and I don't need my memory. And if you think I need my memory, you're an idiot. See how I did that? You see what I did there? If you think I need my memory, you're stupid, and you're ugly if you think I need my memory. See how my argument is getting stronger with the more insults I can think of? It's awesome. So easy, guys. So easy. All right. There is more. There is more. So, the next component to winning an argument. Here's the next component to winning an argument. Word salad. Everybody loves salad. Everybody loves words. Anybody that talks obviously loves words. And anybody that eats food obviously loves salad. Word salad is this beautiful concept of saying lots and lots and lots of words that don't have any attachment to concise meaning. In lots of cases, it's important to include with your word salad ingredients to your salad that don't exist. And what I mean by that is when you're arguing and you're coming up with your long strings of unintelligible phraseology, you have to say words like phraseological, and the epidemiatrics. You have to say words that seem to make sense. But if you look them up in a dictionary, you know for sure that that word's not in a dictionary. Well, why would you use a word that's not in a dictionary? Because, guys, it only inflates your appearance. So, in the animal kingdom, when somebody's about to fight, or two animals are about to fight, they always try to make one. They try to make themselves look bigger than the other. It's part of the intimidation game. So the reason that word salad and making up words on the spot is so effective is it's all about who can make up the most impressive word on the spot. Doesn't have to have meaning. It just has to sound really good. And if I say the ecclesiastical methods with the trendacious explanations that you're using, just want to make sure the clock's still ticking. You're using trendacious explanations that are completely eradicated by the explosive neuropathy of your indications. it kind of almost sounds good. Obviously, I haven't really planned this. If I put a little bit more thought into it, I might be able to go a little bit further with my words. But I mean, that's what it is. That's just a small tidbit of what that looks like. Okay. But using that as a technique for winning an argument, guys, is epimount. Epimount. Look that one up. See if you can find that one in there somewhere. But it sounds like a word. It sure does. And if it is, well, win-win. If it's not, it sounds like one, and that's good. If it is a word, wow, even better. Look at that. Look at that. Or not as good, or both. Doesn't matter. Other ways to win an argument, guys. Oh yeah, volume. Volume wins arguments. So here's what's really ironic, and this is hilarious. This is not just hilarious, this is hysterical. This is I need to change my clothes, specifically under, not my shirt, you know, those kind of clothes. I wouldn't need to change my shirt at all, but that's so funny that I need to change my clothes. Kind of funny. Guys, volume. And let me tell you why this is so funny. You get really, really loud in the argument. You do. And then the moment that the opposing side raises their voice, guys, you make fun of them getting loud and emotional. Oh, this is hysterical. And it happens all of the time. It's beyond hysterical. It really is. So it's an amazing tactic. Get really loud, even shrill, and if you know what that means, not shill, shrill. Anyway, get really shrill and high-pitched, scream, cry, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. And then the moment that your opposing side goes, what are you talking about? You know, whatever. They do the thing, right? And they raise their voice, go, obviously, you... Guys, I don't even have to go any further. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is an incredible technique to winning arguments. Just make fun of the other guy for getting loud, because they're all emotional about it. And then if they were to hypothetically say, well, you were also blah blah blah, anytime they ever try to place the blame back on you for hypocrisy or something like that, just make sure to point out, and this is another component of winning an argument. All you have to do, it's simple, guys. It's simple. Explain pick a characteristic about this person, something that's characteristic to them, especially something that's an immutable characteristic. Those are the best. Something in their life that they have no control over, that they could never change. Pick that thing, okay? Like glasses, for instance. I can't really change my vision. So you would just say you're vision splaining, right? So another one of the best ways to win an argument is to pick something about the person that they have no control over and just add the word splaining to the end of it. And that instantly proves your point, that any time that they're trying to point out something about you, you just tell them that they're splaining, okay? Like vision splaining, for instance, because they wear glasses. And because they wear glasses, they can't possibly understand what your experience is. You get what I'm saying? They have no right to even speak in regards to you, your experiences, your knowledge, or what you're arguing. Tell them that they're vision-splaining, and pretty much done with the argument. So I'm sure some of you by this time are wondering, if it's that easy, why even enter into the argument in the first place? Well, believe it or not everyone believes you, and it's your duty. That water looks like glass. There's hardly a ripple on it. It just looks like a huge sheet of glass or ice. And that would be impossible, given that we're not. I could just call myself names and yell at myself and explain how it's not impossible. And then I would know that it wasn't. I could do that. So back to the point we were trying to make. Why even have the argument in the first place? Because obviously you're going to win. It's like not even a fair fight once you know these tactics. Not a fair fight at all. So why even have it? It's not for the sake of the person you're arguing. They are meaningless. They're just your play toy. Obviously, they're just your object lesson to help other people that might not know, so that they can awaken themselves, or as I like to say, awoken themselves to the facts that you're presenting. But it doesn't have to be facts, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be facts at all. It can literally be anything you want to argue. It doesn't have to be real or true or anything, because the point is that you can win an argument regardless of the content of what you're arguing, just based on these tactics that I just taught you. Okay? There are more, and I want to get more in depth. I had to throw one of those in there. But I want to get more depth out of this. Give you a little bit more of a tutorial on how winning arguments works. I think I gave you a great 101 primer. If you don't think that I gave you an incredible 101 primer, you're stupid. See what I did there? And if you try to argue anything that I've said during this video, guys, you're just video-splaining. You're just YouTube-splaining. Or, obviously those aren't immutable characteristics. Don't expect me to remain consistent. That's unnecessary. But, you're wrong-splaining. You're wrong-splaining. That's what you're doing. So anything that you say, guys, it doesn't matter. You can't take it away. It's said. What I have said has been said. It's said now, and it's permanent, and you're stuck with it. You're stuck with you're stuck with what I said. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's a Saturday morning, and there are this many people awake I hope they're all going to make money. Because why else are they driving around at 7:30 something? Why would they do it? Why would they be doing this? There's more people right now than usual on a weekday. It's amazing. All right, so winning arguments, guys. Winning arguments. I'm gonna add that to the title. I think I'm gonna just do that. I'll make sure that it's titled appropriately, because I don't want you to miss out. Some people just aren't interested in moon landing, but they need to be made aware of the what my argument is. It's as simple as that. And my argument is, yeah, we went to the moon because people have lived there for an undeterminable amount of time. What? Why? What's that about? He was so disgusted, but why? What kind of... Anyway, maybe he heard what I was saying, guys. A lot of hatred out there. A lot of hatred. But yeah, folks have been living on the moon for an undeterminable amount of time. There's been a moon base from the folks in the Middle East. They've had a base on the moon for, again, an undeterminable amount of time. I don't know when they put it there. It could have been in the 1930s. It could have been in the 1970s. It could have been in the 2000s. But they have a base there. Ask Mark about it. Guy's cool. Cool guy. But a lot of people didn't know that there was a base on the moon. I mean, whatever. Whatever. So, I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you learned something. And most of all, I hope that you use everything that I taught you. Don't forget it. You're gonna win, guys. It's all about winning. Go win. Go live life and win, okay? Go win.